All right, hi everybody, welcome back to Syndrome Sisters. So last time our video was all about Down syndrome and I interviewed Liz for it. So this time we're making a video about Tourette syndrome and Lizzie is going to interview me about Tourette's. Right, Liz?
Yes. What kind of tics do you have?
So I have a whole bunch of tics, but a lot of them aren't super noticeable. So one of the main things that I do is sometimes I blink my eyes kind of like this, and I'll make a little face and sometimes move my head with it. I also tense some of the muscles in my body. So sometimes I'll tense my arm muscle, I squeeze my stomach muscles, and then I also have a couple vocal tics. So I'll make little clicking noises with my throat and my nose. And then I used to have much more obvious tics, but as I got a little bit older, my tics kind of calmed down a little bit.
Does Tourette syndrome have any symptoms?
So with Tourette syndrome, you have all these different tics. You can have vocal tics or motor tics. The motor tics are movements, and the vocal tics are sounds that you can make. And those are the main symptoms of Tourette's. But there are also a few conditions that a person with Tourette's can also have. So for example, some people with Tourette syndrome have OCD, they can have depression, anxiety, and many other comorbids is what they're called. But not every person with Tourette's will have them.
The next question is, what is your hobbies are? Like, what is your hobbies?
I like hanging out with my dogs. I have 2 puppies, and I like taking them for walks. I also like to play soccer, and I really like baking.
Hello. How about me?
You're right, and hanging out with you.
So what are you studying for?
What am I studying in college?
Yeah.
I'm studying to be a teacher.
What kind of teacher?
I'm going to be certified to teach elementary school, and after that, I'm going to go back to college so that way I can teach elementary school, but the special ed class.
With Tourette syndrome, do you have any siblings?
I have 2 siblings, and they actually both have Tourette syndrome as well.
For my family, so it's different because I'm the only one who has Down syndrome. How long do you have Tourette syndrome?
So if you're born with it, you're going to have it forever. Although in some people, as you do get a little bit older, after the age 18, in some people, not everyone, your tics can decrease. And luckily, that's what happened for me.
Can you still work or drive with Tourette's?
I can. So I've been working for a long time. I've had a couple different jobs, and driving, I can still drive with Tourette syndrome, but if my tics get really bad, then what I do, I made a deal with my parents. So if I don't think it's safe enough for me to drive, I can pull over and my parents can come and pick me up.
Does people with Tourette syndrome curse?
A lot of people, when they hear about Tourette syndrome, they assume it's just when people yell out curse words. But this is actually called Coprolalia. And Coprolalia affects, I want to say, about 10% of all people with Tourette syndrome. So it's not very common. However, I did used to have Coprolalia. So when I was a little bit younger, I would yell out a curse word or two, and I couldn't help it. It was just something that my body made me do. But again, it's not very common.
Have you seen people with Tourette syndrome walking out on the streets or on the roads? Like, have you seen them before?
Tourette syndrome is actually very common. So I know a decent amount of people with it.
Why do you want people to know about Tourette syndrome?
So I want people to know about Tourette syndrome because I think the more people know about it, the more accepting they will be. So I began talking to people about it and doing presentations in schools when I was in 6th grade, the year I was diagnosed, because my classmates didn't know why I was making noises or ticking. So I decided to educate them. And after I did my presentation, everyone in the class was very accepting and very kind. And I learned that if you're very open about it and you talk to people and just kind of let them know what's going on, they're going to be much more accepting of you.
That's all the questions that I have for you.
That's it? You're done?
Yes, you can help us save up for awareness and please help with the homeless people. And so if you have any questions, you can text me on my YouTube account. Thank you and have a great day, people. Bye.
Thank you. Bye, everybody.
I'm tired of talking Tourette syndrome right now.